Hi everybody, welcome to another Fun in 5. Today's game is Alhambra. I'm actually bringing to you the big box version, but we're going to talk mainly about the base game and then a little bit about the expansion at the end. This is a game where you're building a city in Europe and Arabia, and you're following a strict set of guidelines on how you can build your city, but there's a lot of strategy that goes into that. So why is Alhambra fun? Well, first off, let's talk about the money system. I think the money system is kind of neat because you have a very restrictive ability to purchase different types of buildings. And these buildings you can see on here require a certain type of money. So there's a yellow and a green, an orange and a blue. And you're going to be drafting or getting that money throughout the game through a public pool of money. And so it's kind of neat to try to build up your hand of money throughout the game, trying to acquire certain tiles. And it can be really frustrating but fun when somebody snags the tile that you've been trying to save up money for, or when you're able to do that to somebody else. So I love the money system and how it's very tailored into 4 different colors, and how that can randomize because the tiles randomly go onto these different money tiles. So you can never really predict what color building is going to go onto what type of money. Second one is about the tile placement. That's the whole purpose of the game, is to put your tiles on the table. And there's several different colors of buildings, each of which are with different types of points and have different rule sets kind of attached to them. And it's cool to see how you build out your city. There are some rules where you can only build if the walls connect or if there's no walls. And then there's different ways that you can earn points in the expansion part of the game. Sometimes you can get extra points if the same color buildings are connected or things like that. But even with the base game, it's really fun to see the city build and watch how your scoring is impacted at the same time. Which brings me to my third point, which is, actually no, I guess that'll be my fourth point. My third point is about the 3-stage scoring system. So kind of layered into the money deck is going to be these couple of scoring cards. And so what happens is when you hit one of those scoring cards, when somebody's about to draw money, that basically the game comes to a halt and you score the game at that point. So you get to score based on how many walls are continuous around your city, and then you do a score based on who has the most of each color of buildings, or who has the second most. And I love that it's kind of tiered that way, because then you might get extra points for white or purple buildings in the early game, but then you might not get them later in the game. So it gives you a chance to take advantage of things early in the game if you're the only person to have gotten a white or purple building in the early stages, for example. So that 3-stage scoring system is really, really neat. And fun. And so the next part of scoring that I like is the fourth point, and that's about the building score rankings. So I love the fact that even though all the buildings look the same kind of when they're building out in your city, they're all worth different values of points. So the least valuable is blue, and then it goes to red, brown, white, green, and purple. But sometimes the best strategy is not just to go for purple. It might be to take advantage of having the most of the 3 lower ones and just enough of the high ones to keep your opponent trying to push for those. So there can be some strategy in there, especially since it's through 3 stages. So I love that the buildings are all different facets of points, but you can still win the game getting lower ranked buildings if you do it the right way. And then the fifth one is about the expansion. So the big box itself, you can buy all the expansions separately, but definitely more cost effective and space effective if you can get the big box. And each one of these expansions, you can see there's 5 different expansions or 6 different expansions in this box, but they all offer a different element to the game. So some of them may offer you different type of buildings or a different advancement in the scoring system. Some of them allow you to manipulate the treasure deck a bit differently. Some of them allow you to take advantage of trading or building formations. So it's kind of neat once you can integrate all these different expansions and have some fun with it. And so the way we did it as a family is we played the base game 3 or 4 times, and then we layered in the first expansion and played that a couple of times. And then we layered in the second expansion. We actually haven't made it to the 5th and 6th yet, but I'm looking forward to it. At some point we'll get to that point and have some fun with that, I'm sure. So that's Alhambra. If you've never played it, definitely worth a try. There's a reason that this game has had more than 1 million copies sold worldwide, and I really would recommend it. Take care.